Hey guys, welcome back to Andy's Dinosaur Reviews, and today we have a very monumental day here on the channel as we are gifted with the ability to take a look at the very first inductee into the Kingdom Collection. This is the Velociraptor Blue bust created by Marco Makes and Alex Kendrick, again for the Kingdom Collection, which is going to be a very extensive line of unbelievably beautiful dinosaur model busts that will be coming out from them. I know they have a lot planned for the line, starting again with Velociraptor Blue, which is so many people's favorite Velociraptor, and I must say that I had an absolute blast painting mine up to give it this really nice Velociraptor Blue paint scheme, but the one that you would be purchasing will actually come painted already. You don't have to worry about painting yours. I just wanted to paint mine because that's something that I do here, and that's also something that I enjoy. I really have a great time painting dinosaur models, so I wanted to get a hold of one unpainted and paint it up, and that's exactly what I had the pleasure of doing here with this Velociraptor Blue bust. Again, Marco and Alex Kendrick had sent this over to me to get an early opportunity to take a look at it with you guys and show you just how incredible this Kingdom Collection line is going to be, and I must say that I am blown away by the overall quality of this Velociraptor bust. Like, I have never seen in my life a more perfectly sculpted out Velociraptor bust as far as like screen accuracy goes and really capturing the entire overall appearance of the dinosaur that it's trying to create. And Marco always does a fantastic job as far as capturing accuracy with his sculpts, but again, I've never had a Marco Makes model that was like this immense, this large, so it's really impressive to see just how good of a job he has done, again, of just capturing the overall likeness of Velociraptor Blue, and he has absolutely nailed every aspect of the sculpt here, including like the osteoderms that run down the course of the neck, and just generally like the skull shape of Velociraptor Blue. Like, it's a very kind of trademark appearance to the Velociraptor, as, and I'm not sure if everybody's noticed, but with the Velociraptors in Jurassic World, like, each one looks different for the most part. Like, they have different appearances to the head sculpt, and Velociraptor Blue has her own very unique look to her head sculpt that differs, from the other Velociraptors. And again, Marco has nailed that aspect here as far as the initial Kingdom Collection bust goes, and you can see that the bust comes on a beautiful stand as well, so really continuing on with the overall high quality appearance and feel to this set. This is just, again, one of the most unbelievable and breathtaking models that I have in my collection and I've ever had the ability to review here on the channel. So let's go ahead, get a closer look at our beautiful Velociraptor Blue right now. So looking at the bust, up here in a nice light, you can really see just how much realism is included in this model. Like, it is just beautiful, and I feel like the most notable area that you'll probably be instantly drawn into would be the eyes, and the eyes are given the glass eye treatment, and every model that you get from the Kingdom Collection line will have that treatment to it. You have a very, very nice looking eye, and I believe the eye itself was actually created by Marco. Like, this isn't just a generic eye that you can purchase online somewhere. The eye itself was created by Marco, just like the Velociraptor bust itself was, so the eye perfectly resembles Velociraptor Blue's eye from, of course, Jurassic World and Fallen Kingdom, and the other time we've seen Blue make an appearance, the eye is custom created by Marco to give this Velociraptor Blue the absolute perfect appearance. But starting up here at the tip of the snout, you can see the nostrils are sculpted out really quite nicely, and the scale detail is honestly phenomenal throughout the entire sculpt. Like, you could see every scale is different, every area of the texturing to the skin is all, again, individually sculpted by Marco, but there's no laziness when it comes to a Marco Makes sculpt, and you can see that throughout this entire model. Like, he has absolutely captured every aspect of Velociraptor Blue's head sculpt and brought it to life here in the model. You can see lots of really nice different varying sizes of scales down here on the lower jaw, even including some really nice smaller scales, and then as you get further down into the lower jaw, you have more of like a skin texture appearance with a little bit of like a scaly type of a look, and the entire underside of the bust as well sports a really nice, very highly detailed appearance to it. Like, you can really see the throat and everything here on the underside is really beautifully elaborated right here on the underside of the bust, it definitely looks very lifelike and very realistic as far as the sculpt goes. And the texturing to the skin looks fantastic under here. You have some like nice skin folds and stuff going on down here as well. And just generally, like, you can see some of the movement within the skin of the raptor right here in the throat region. And the detailing all around the eye also looks gorgeous, but of course the star of the show in that general vicinity is that beautiful glass eye. If you take a look up here at the top of the head sculpt, again, the detailing looks phenomenal. Like, you could see exactly the way Velociraptor Blue's head looks in the film is sculpted again perfectly by Marco. And you can again see all the varying sizes of scales and everything as far as that really nice texturing to the skin, and it's perfect for a nice light wash like I've applied here, so that all of that detail pops beautifully. And I know Marco paints his Velociraptor Blue busts in the exact same fashion, and you can see lots of like osteoderms and stuff poking up here and there on the top of the head, and they continue to run down the course of the neck. You can see lots of creasing going on in the neck region as well, but those osteoderms, which are very trademark to Velociraptor Blue, it's something that is very notable on Blue's sculpt, and they are present throughout the entire sculpt, like really nicely. You could see them just showing up all over the neck region of Blue, even within the blue stripe area, and that is exactly like what you see on Blue in the film. And again, the actual scale, detail, and texturing looks insanely beautiful the entire way down the course of the neck, and you have those nice creases the entire way down as well. And if you look at the opposing side of Velociraptor Blue, again, the paintwork here was all done by me, and I will show you guys some images of Marco's own version that he has painted, so you'll get a good idea of what yours will look like. It won't look exactly like mine, but of course the sculpt is exactly like this. But you can see that over here, again, the detailing aspect is just phenomenal, and it just so perfectly captures Velociraptor Blue. Like, it's so impressive, and I really love this side. You can actually see it a little better, like the detailing around the eye, because you don't have the blue stripe getting in the way. The blue stripe on this side of Velociraptor Blue ends prior to reaching this point, so you have more of like the skin that you can see without the blue kind of obscuring it, and you can really get a good idea of, again, just how much work Marco has put into the sculpt of this model. Over here on this side, you can see lots of nice wrinkles and stuff in the skin right there in the eye socket area, even down here on the underside, just creating, again, the most lifelike appearance possible. Like, it honestly looks like this is something that should have come from Stan Winston's school. It is so insanely good. And you can see the detailing down here in the neck region, again, looks great, just like we had seen on the previous side. It all looks just beautiful from every vantage point. Again, the neck looks pretty much the same on this side like we had seen on the previous side, sporting that gorgeous kind of creasing running down the course of the neck, all of the osteoderms and stuff poking up here and there, as well as the beautiful scale detail. So Marco has just gone ahead and created the absolute ultimate Velociraptor Blue bust, and added, of course, his own elements of realism by creating custom glass eyes for your Velociraptor Blue, and just making it look just super lifelike, super realistic. Once I actually take a step away, leaving it on the base, and take a look at it here in person, it just honestly looks like a real Velociraptor Blue head sculpt. It is sculpted so beautifully. And if you look at these images here, these are actually the images of Marco's that he has painted himself. So this is pretty much exactly what yours would look like if you do end up ordering it. Again, he paints all of the busts that go out, so you will get a custom painted Velociraptor Blue bust from Marco. And in my opinion, Marco has definitely done a better job on his than I have done on mine. But I still had an absolute blast painting this up, and it is now definitely one of my prized possessions in my collection, because it is easily the best Jurassic World inspired bust I have of any kind, but also one of the most realistic looking busts that I have, period. Now, as far as a size goes, and I do apologize if it's a little shaky, because I do kind of have to have the camera sitting in my lap to use both hands to measure this, but for a length, if we go from the back of the neck, from right here to the snout, you are looking at right around the 11-inch mark, or about the 28-centimeter range, somewhere in that vicinity. And then for a height to the top of Velociraptor Blue's head here on the base, you are looking at right around 8 3/4 inches, closing in on 9 inches, or about the 22.5 centimeter range. For a size comparison, here is Velociraptor Blue from the Kingdom Collection with Mr. Papo T-Rex, the Attack Pack Colovosaurus, and Robert Muldoon from the Mattel Jurassic World toy line. And in comparison to this massive bust, I would like to think that you've got a pretty good idea and hopefully a newfound respect for the overall size of this bust. Again, it is not full scale, of course. It's still a very large bust. And again, with the larger size, it's incredibly striking as far as a collectible goes from every aspect, whether it's the paint that Marco will apply to it, whether it's the sculpt or the size. It is incredibly impressive. And then for a second comparison, here is our Alex Kendrick Marco Makes Kingdom Collection Velociraptor Blue bust in comparison to a Mattel Velociraptor Blue figure, which they both look super cool together. But again, if you happen to have any of the Mattel Raptors, hopefully this will help to give you a good idea of the overall size of the bust, but also potentially a plan to display your model, because you could always display it with a really cool Mattel Raptor. So I love Marco Makes. I love everything he produces. He always gives us like those dream-worthy figures that us as collectors pretty much just are aching to own, and he pretty much just creates them all on his own, whether it's the sculpt, the paint, everything he does all on his own, and of course the production of the models. But luckily now for the Kingdom Collection, Alex Kendrick has stepped in to help him with this and take a little bit of slack off of poor Marco Make's shoulders, and that will allow us the opportunity to have a lot more being produced from Marco as far as the Kingdom Collection goes. And I must say again, I love the stuff that Marco produces on his own, but I am insanely excited for this Kingdom Collection, because just imagine how cool it's going to be when we are like 4 or 5 busts deep into this collection, and you can just have them all up on display, all the different busts from this collection just one next to each other. It'll be just such the coolest display piece, and in general one of the coolest visuals that I can think of. And he's already created the Tyrannosaur sculpt, and he's been at work on creating numerous other Velociraptor busts from the different Jurassic films, as he has intentions of course, releasing like the original Velociraptor from Jurassic Park, and then he has the Lost World Raptors, and I'm sure we'll get the JP3 Raptors and all of that fun stuff. Like, he's got a lot planned for this, as well as a Carnotaurus, which is my most anticipated model probably from anybody right now, is a Marco Makes Carnotaurus bust. But the Kingdom Collection, again, is something that I've been kind of covering in news videos for quite some time, so having the opportunity to actually have a Kingdom Collection bust here in my hands and in my collection is an absolute pleasure, but also something I am truly honored about, because I had the opportunity to be the first one to review a Kingdom Collection bust, and again, the very first bust of the Kingdom Collection with one of the most iconic Jurassic dinosaurs, which is Velociraptor Blue, that so many people just know and love. It's something that I am just over the moon excited about, and I always want to give a huge shout out to Alex Kendrick and Marco Makes for allowing me the opportunity to have this model here in my hands and in my collection and review it for you guys. But again, the bust itself is just beautiful, whether it's the incredible looking, very high quality base, and it's also quite the heavy base, very sturdy and stable, or it's the gorgeous Velociraptor Blue bust herself, or the beautiful custom glass eyes. Like, everything on this model is so high quality, and honestly I would say museum worthy. If there were a Jurassic museum, a Jurassic World or Jurassic Park museum out there, that museum would not be complete without a Marco Makes Kingdom Collection bust included in it. Marco, as usual, does a phenomenal job as far as accuracy when it comes to screen accuracy, and has created this Velociraptor Blue with the full intention of making it completely screen accurate as far as the sculpt goes, and he succeeds 110%, because again, looking at it here in person, everything on this bust looks exactly like Velociraptor Blue looks in the film. Even like, not just the head sculpt itself, like even the length and the width of the neck. Like, there's just really little details on Velociraptor Blue's appearance that you may not even pick up on straight away, but honestly, if you can take an image of this blue bust right here and put it next to an image of Velociraptor Blue from the film, it's going to look exactly the same. That's how good Marco has done of a job on this sculpt, and again, it's just unbelievably impressive here in person. Of course, this is the paintwork that I came up with for mine, and it was an absolute blast again painting it. I love painting my models, and I love painting Marco Makes models, as this is now the second Marco model that I've had the pleasure of painting, as I have painted his Tyrannosaurus Rex previously. But now having a bust from the Kingdom Collection line, it was absolutely awesome to have an opportunity to paint this as well. But like I had stated earlier in the review, if you do get one of these, you will receive one painted from Marco. And this right here, again, I did show you earlier, but I'd like to show you again. This is what yours will look like as far as the actual paintwork goes. And Marco does a better job than I do at the overall paint job on Velociraptor Blue. His looks just absolutely perfect. So that's exactly what you will be getting if you order one, is an absolutely perfect rendition of Velociraptor Blue's head sculpt. Marco has just gone above and beyond with Alex Kendrick to create another dream-worthy release, and again, those beautiful glass custom eyes are just like the icing on the cake as far as this model goes, just really ironing out the overall realism of the model. Just such a genius idea on his part to create his own glass eyes for the model, as opposed to just giving them like some kind of generic glass eye that you can buy from a store, which shows you just how far Marco goes to create the best possible product, but also reassures you that you will be getting the best possible product if you purchase one of these Kingdom Collection busts. So again, make sure that when these do become available that you do actually purchase them, because things like this, like smaller lines of dinosaurs like this that don't have a giant funding behind them or anything like that, it really takes you guys to help support that and create the future for that line. So when these do go up for sale, make sure that you support the Marco Makes and Alex Kendrick Kingdom Collection by picking one of these beautiful Velociraptor Blue busts up, so that we can receive even more beautiful dinosaur busts in the Kingdom Collection line in the future. I will include a link in the description to both the Kingdom Collection Facebook page, the Kingdom Collection Instagram page, as well as the Kingdom Collection store, which is actually up already, but does not have the blue bust quite for sale yet. But it will be definitely going up soon. When it does, I of course will let you guys know in a news video, so you are aware of the fact that it is up and ready to go. But you can always favorite and like all of those links right now in the description. So make sure you do all that. Make sure that you buy this beautiful bust when it does become available, and make sure you also like, comment, and subscribe. And I will see you in the next review. Thanks for watching.